What is up, beautiful people? Lockie Samuel, your men's vulnerability coach. But I'm sure you knew that we are in the Men's Work Collective compound or office. Get out of their hand. And I just wanted to drop in and express something that happened last night and the day before, which I'm incredibly proud of and grateful for, privileged to have in my life. I did a video before about this deep conversation that I had with my father off the back of a dream, and that led to a conversation where we got to connect on a heart level. I got to help him move through and shift some stuff, bring awareness to issues that he wasn't quite aware of, and it was very open, it was very communicative. For the first time that I can remember, my father opened up to me in a manner that I hadn't experienced before, and it was beautiful. It really was beautiful. It made me cry, and so I let him know that conversation made me cry, and he ended up messaging me and telling me that although he loves all the other kids, I'm sorry, Henny, Rachel, Tash, Ryan, although he loves the other kids, that I am his heart. And I can understand that, because obviously between him and Mum, I'm the first kid. And he told me I was his heart, and that made me break down, made me cry. And the reason it did make me cry is because I realized in that moment is that, up until 4 years old, it was just me, my dad, and my mum. And he would run with me on his shoulders, very, very fit, sexy hunk of man meat he was, very fit. He'd run with me on his shoulders through Totara Park in Manarewa in New Zealand, and we'd do all those sorts of things together, and I really had his undivided love and attention. And when my brother came along at about 4 years old for me, I think unconsciously, looking back now, I felt like, as this little boy, because you are not paying me attention anymore, because I've got this brother who screams and constantly demands attention, I no longer have my dad, and even more than that, I no longer have my best friend. And I think that's unwittingly, unconsciously compelled a lot of my behavior. It's compelled a lot of the action that I've taken, because in being this narcissist, in trying to have all these relationships, and trying to get all this attention from women, and trying to get successful and make all this sort of money, all I've really been searching for is that place in my father's heart, and probably even more so, if I'm to peel that back a little deeper, a little more, is within my own heart, feeling like I am special to him, to the extent that I was before my little brother came into this world. And that was beautiful to see. I remember Troy, beautiful coach from Evolve Brotherhood, saying we're all just little boys who want to be loved. And yeah, that's what it is. It's been a profound lesson for me, and I got to express that back to him. That's probably all that I was searching for my entire life, was to feel completely loved and accepted to him, to feel special to him. And yes, I broke down, and then even more from that, taking a step further, I ended up calling him yesterday, not because I wanted to help him more, not because I wanted to feel even more special, just because I felt compelled to. Just because I felt compelled to. And it's funny, our text messages to each other don't seem to be sending, and I feel like that's the universe's way of cock blocking us on SMS so that we do have these phone calls. And so I called him last night. It was just supposed to be, hey old fella, how are you? I love you. That's all it was supposed to be, and it turned out to be one of the deepest phone calls, one of the deepest conversations I've ever had with anyone in my entire life, let alone my father. Bear in mind, a couple of days earlier, that was the deepest conversation we've probably had ever. The most, two-way, openly communicative or vulnerable conversation that I've had with my old man. And so last night, it went that step further, unintentionally, and we ended up doing inner child work with him, going back to that garage where he experienced trauma, where he was beaten and battered. And I got him to look that little boy in the eyes and tell him it was going to be okay. Tell him how much certainty and safety and love he has in his life right now. To give him something to look forward to, because if he let that boy in that garage stay the same with the same feelings and emotion, then that little boy would live on inside him now. And so that brought up a lot of feeling. I got to hear my dad cry, which, even when his parents died, his mum and dad, I didn't see him cry once. So to hear him, genuinely express himself and allow to shift was a beautiful experience, profound for me. And, just creating that deeper level of heart connection, ultimately clearing, trauma and clearing these lines for our next ancestors. And so that was beautiful. And I just wanted to express that. Because that was deep for me. That was huge for me. And I loved every second of it. And so, I hope this can serve as a catalyst for more men who are doing the work, who know their fathers are born of that idolization of stoicism, the man who doesn't show emotion as the strong man. I hope that the men right now in my generation doing the work can see this and use this as their epiphany, as the catalyst to open their hearts to their fathers. Whether the heart is open on the other side and receiving the love, open that heart, allow space for love, change, malleability, and really welcome your father in without forcing it, welcoming it in with love, not with scarcity. I really do believe that we have an opportunity right now, with everything that is going on in the world, as men, to help our fathers. I really do believe that. Ciao.